NHL is back, ladies and gentlemen. This is a toy haul. I'm at the Nerd Bar. You can see what I got in the background. It's not a big haul, but it is a magnificent haul. So I'll see you in just a second. This is my favorite time of the year for sports. For any of you that are sports fans, you'll know that MLB, playoffs right now, NHL season just started, NFL's going strong, college football going strong, I think NBA starts soon too, so hell of a time to be a sports fan. But this is not about sports, this is about figures, toys, collectibles, and comic books. But let's go over the comic books that I picked up first, and then we'll get to all this awesomeness right here. So first things first, Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue number 6. This is an interesting dynamic. If you have not been reading The Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker has a roommate. The roommate is Boomerang. What? Parker's trying to get back with his girl, MJ. And yeah, it looks like Boomerang is kind of ruining the party there, but I haven't read this. It says Amazing Spider-Man Date Night. I'm still on issue 1, so I'm kind of far behind. I get a lot of comic books, so it takes me a while to read through them, but I'm like 5 issues back on Amazing Spider-Man, so need to catch up. Avengers, Jason Aaron, awesome writer. David Marquez is now doing the pencils on this. Ed McGuinness was doing the pencils. David Marquez is one of my favorite freaking artists out there, so I'm looking forward to this. But there is Avengers numero 8, Legacy number 698. So in 2 issues, they'll be at Avengers number 700. I'm sure they'll go with the Legacy numbering for that issue. That's a milestone issue. Extermination number 3. This is a limited series. And this, from what I understand, I'm not sure about all the specifics, but they're righting the wrongs and sending the original X-Men back to their timeline. Hopefully things are not too jacked up, since they have changed dramatically since they came to 616 timeline, or they got sucked from the past and brought to the present by Beast. Anyway, Old Man Hawkeye, right there. Not caught up on this. I think I'm on issue 1 with this as well. They're on issue 9. Gorgeous art. I love the art in this, but there's that. Old Man Logan. He will be going back to his original timeline in the Wastelands, from what I understand, possibly, since original 616 Logan is back. Old Man Logan number 48, right there. I don't know, maybe they'll do it around issue 50. Seems like a good time to do it. The Punisher, this is an awesome series right here. The art in this is freaking awesome. Kudransky is the artist. But it's Punisher number 2. Great time to get back into Punisher. Great time to get back into comics right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not into comics, you want to get into some comics. I get people all the time that say, you know, I want to get back into comics. What should I get? I read issue 1 of this. It was freaking awesome. Awesome art. Here's issue 2. Get into this, The Punisher, if you like The Punisher. The Sentry. This is a limited series, and it's a very, very good one if you're familiar with the character. I love the Sentry, and he's been written very, very well over the years. This one's written by Jeff Lemire. This is issue 4. I love the storyline. Great miniseries right there. Star Wars number 54. I am like 10 issues back on Star Wars. Definitely need to catch up there. But it looks like, is that Vader? Because there's a red saber. I'm assuming it's Vader. The Thor number 5. Another Jason Aaron. Beautifully written comic book. Phoenix in Thor should be reason enough to get this. Freaking awesome when they bring like X-Men into MCU properties. But I guess that's going to happen more often now since the X-Men are now part of the MCU. So we'll see how they incorporate the X-Men and Fantastic Four into the MCU proper. I'm sure it's going to affect comic books as well, since that seems to be the big money maker with Marvel, is the movies. Venom. This is one of the most popular Marvel books right now. Donny Cates knocking it out of the park with the writing on this. Venom #6, so it's a great time, again, great time to get back into comic books. Pick up Venom. Venom movie comes out, what, tomorrow? The next day? And I'm really excited to see it. I don't give a freaking flying crap what the critics say. They've hated a ton of movies that I've loved. So I'm going to go see it. I'm going to form my own opinion. Yeah, I'm not going to not see a movie just because a bunch of critics say it sucks. I don't give a freaking ass what the critics say. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. They're like the freaking weatherman. It's a 50% chance of rain every day. It's a 50% chance that a movie's going to suck every day. Might be good, might be bad. Anyway, back to the comics. X-Men Blue. I think this might be the last issue. I think this might be the last issue of X-Men Blue, and what a cover. That's an awesome cover. Love it. I really enjoyed the original X-Men being in our timeline. I thought it was fun. I thought it was very, very fun. Fish out of water storyline. It lasted for many years, but I enjoyed it. They went through a bunch of different miniseries, events, and I liked it. So I'm going to miss them. But yeah, there you go. X-Men. Oh, I got one more comic book. And this is the one that everyone's talking about. But they're talking about it for the wrong reasons. Because they should be buying this comic because it's Brian Azzarello, who's a great writer, Lee Bermejo, who is a frickin' ridiculously talented artist, doing Batman. This is Batman Damned. Don't buy it for the Bat Dong. Don't buy it for that. They're going to do second printings of this. This is sold out. People are paying ridiculous amounts for this because there's a Bat Dong in it. Don't pay ridiculous prices for this. I got this one for cover price. Comics to Games held a copy for me. But I got it for the writing. I got it for the beautiful Lee Bermejo art. The guy's a fantastic artist. Buy the second printing. They're going to edit out the Bat Dong. But buy it for the story. Buy it for the story, buy it for the art. But those are my comics. Those are the comics of, I guess, the week. I feel so lucky to have such awesome stores around here. Including the toy department, where I got this. In my last video, if you haven't watched that, I think it was my last video, check it out if you haven't seen it. I bought a Hiss Tank, a black Hiss Tank, 25th anniversary G.I. Joe Hiss Tank from the toy department, and it came with like a different deco Hiss Tank driver. So I said in that video, I need to get that red Hiss Tank driver, and I did. So I got this at toy department. I think I got this for like 10 bucks. So heck of a deal right there. But there's the Hiss Tank driver. I got that one. I also got this. This is a third-party masterpiece scale mini bot. You know how I love my mini bots. This is Swerve. He's called Slick because this is a third-party Bad Cube masterpiece scale bot. But I'm going to take this out of package. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you what it looks like with another third-party mini-bot. Really, really happy to pick this one up. I liked Outback, Swerve, Pipes. Who else did we have? There was a couple others. I can't remember the other one. It was the white wind charger. Anyway, leave it in the comments if you know. Guess what I found at Walmart? That's right. I found, this is glorious right here. This is staying in the package because look at that. Just look at that amazing, beautiful piece of nostalgia right there. This is childhood for me. This is childhood. And this is staying in the package. This is the vintage Starscream. I got this at Walmart. Very, very happy to find it. I am now looking for Devastator, the set. I'm going to get him. And then I might get Hot Rod. I'm not sure. I think they're doing mini bots also. I think they're doing actually the post-Transformers movie mini bots. So I'll probably be picking those up. I did a toy hunt with Pence and Toy Bills this past weekend. And Josh picked this one up at TransFan 2's Shop and Look. And it looked really cool. But I didn't get it at the time. And then I saw it again at Target. And I got it. Because, first of all, that box art's gorgeous. But what kind of sold me on this one, and I didn't even notice this before, and it's little things, like little kind of characteristics that make things different, that kind of make me interested in things. Let me explain. Excuse me, good lord. So this is the Ahab Predator by Neca. And as you can see, he is missing an eye. I think, now I have not read this comic book, but it says, as seen in the Fire and Stone comic book series right there. So it looks like he possibly, based on this right here, takes on various creatures, maybe a xenomorph, possibly. It looks like he fights a butt ton of different crazy creatures, and he gets damaged by it. He's like, his eye's jacked. It's either missing or his face is like melted there. But what was so cool, when I looked at this thing up close, look closely at his mouth. He is freaking missing a mandible. So on the same side of his face where his eye got melted, I guess he lost one of his little mandibles, one of his little teeth things. That's freaking cool. That is so cool to me. This dude has been through hell. And just seeing that, the fact that he's not only missing an eye, but he is missing one of his mother freaking teeth. I don't know. I had to have it. It was weird. I was like, that dude's been through he's seen some stuff. And I need to get him in my collection. He needs to be part of my Predator collection because he's a freaking badass. So, there you go. I got the Ahab Predator. And I got a new Mezco figure. When I went on my toy hunt with Toy Bills and Josh Pence. By the way, check out, I know Josh recorded. I didn't record that day. But Josh recorded, and you can check out his video on his channel. And you'll see, I set off my car alarm with my quad. With my own leg. I happened to set off anyway, it's a thing. Watch the video. But this is one of the things that I picked up. So I picked up a couple things at Comics to Games in addition to the comic books. This is one of them, Mezco Doctor Strange. This is freaking awesome right here. I cannot wait to open this up and show you what it looks like, but just look at that. This is really, really cool right here. This like spectral, what are those, astral projection? I've seen a couple reviews online, and I'm really excited to open this up and show this to you, so I will do that. And then that leaves us with one more item that I picked up. So this was an item that I really, really wanted, but it was really expensive, and I was not comfortable paying a lot of money to get it. I mean, it's like 635 bucks. Thankfully, I used some trade credit at Comics to Games, and I was able to pick this up. What this is a die-cast Iron Man Hot Toys figure. It's the Mark IV die-cast armor. If you watched the opening scene in Iron Man 2, when he jumps from the plane, and it's one of me and the girls' favorite Marvel scenes. We watched that just because AC/DC's blasting in the background, and he's flying through the air, and fireworks are going off, and the sound of his jets when he starts going towards the Stark Expo, it's so loud and bassy, and it just sounds awesome. It's just like, it's such a freaking cool scene. He lands, cheerleaders, music, more AC/DC, crowds going crazy. These big metal arms start taking off his suit, and he's wearing a tux under it. This Hot Toys die-cast Iron Man figure not only comes with the Iron Man, but also that giant gantry that takes off his armor. So this is like the deluxe version. They're also doing this figure just with the Iron Man. But again, when I saw this thing solicited, I'm like, oh my gosh, that thing looks like a centerpiece. I mean, I already have the Hulkbuster as like a centerpiece now, but this was like another centerpiece. And I was like, man, I wish I could get that. And when I went into Comics to Games, they had this. So I was able to pick it up. And I am going to open this up, assemble it, and show you what this thing looks like out of box. So let's do that. I got some work to do now. I got some stuff to unbox. But let's do it. I'll be right back. Holy crap. Alright, so I unboxed a few things here. We're going to start over here with Swerve, aka Slick. But this is Masterpiece Scale Bad Cube Swerve. And he's pretty awesome. There's a couple things that I don't really care for, but I think that he is going to look great in my Masterpiece collection. One of the things I don't like is the color of red. It looks a little kind of, I don't know, pinkish to me. I don't know. I just think that it would have looked cooler if it was slightly darker red. But there is Swerve. The other thing that kind of bothers me are the shoulders. These don't really peg in. They kind of just hang over like shoulder pads, kind of like an SH Figure Art or, I don't know, like a Mafex or something. But otherwise, he's pretty cool. Everything is solid. He has, it feels like some die cast in his feet, but he's a pretty solid mini-bot. He does come with an alternate face or head sculpt, which I'm probably not going to use because it's like screaming, like yelling. It kind of looks weird. So I also got out my, this is a Cubex Huffer. This is the company that actually became Bad Cube. They were called Cubex before, but you can see the scale right there. And then here is Masterpiece Official Bumblebee. So there is the mini-bot scale right there. I think that's a good scale. Pretty awesome. I do like this guy. So there you go with that. Moving on to a Mezco figure. This one is amazing. I really highly recommend this Doctor Strange figure. This is such a great figure. I had a lot of fun putting on the cape and putting on those effects there. The little astral effects, or the, I don't know what they call those, magic effects. They kind of attach to the wrist there. As you can see, I have him in a little flight pose. I got the cape articulated. So there is wiring along this side of the cape in the front. So you can get a pretty good like flight pose, like dynamic pose out of it. And then this is really cool. So this right here, as you can see, magnetized. So there's a magnet under the blue shirt there. There's a magnet in the corners of the cape there. And that's how it stays on. Really freaking awesome. I love how it's not like a button or something that attaches. I love it when they incorporate magnets into figures. Just really cool. But there's Doctor Strange, and there's that really awesome freaking astral projection. And it basically what it does is it attaches to the base right there, or the arm. It looks awesome though. I think it looks really freaking cool. And I did order the exclusive, the Mezco exclusive. I think it was one of the cons. I forgot which con it was. But I ordered the, was it New York Comic Con? I don't remember. It was the first appearance Doctor Strange Mezco. I picked that one up. I also picked up the Ronin Wolverine by Mezco. So those two were ordered. Those are on the way. But I really like this Doctor Strange here. There's the Eye of Agamotto. And look at the face sculpt. That's a brilliant face sculpt. I really like this figure, if you can't tell. But I definitely recommend it. So there's the Mezco Doctor Strange. And that brings us to, look at this thing. Just look at this. This is a piece of art right here. This is freaking amazing. I could dedicate an entire video to this piece, honestly. But I'm not, because it would take forever. But I'm just going to show you what this thing looks like. What I'm looking at with my own eyes. This is Tony Stank, Mark IV armor, right after he lands at the Stark Expo. Gantry arms come up from the floor, start taking off his armor. I mean, look at the detail on this. This is just, this is insane. This is something that I think only Hot Toys could do. I could not imagine any other company tackling something like this. I mean, look at this. There's wires coming out. Some of these joints are articulated so you can move it around. And you can see his arm is going in that right there, and it's disassembling his armor. This piece right here, you can see it's separating his, it's pulling off his chest piece. That's magnetized. Again, I like magnets, but you could see little magnet in there, but really, really awesome. I have not put the batteries in, but I can only imagine that this thing would look even more cool if that arc reactor was lit up. But there's the Rdj Head Sculpt. That is actually the helmeted head sculpt, but you can make it look like that's the helmet as it, you know, as it's removed from Iron Man's head. And those little arms there, they close, and it's sitting on another arm under there, if you can see it. That kind of just holds it there. The floor, these all go back to a flat base. So these are all these like panels and stuff, they're all articulated, if you can't tell. And then these little arms here, these are articulated so they can make it look like they're about to remove his leg armor. But this thing is just, I mean, this is ridiculous. Here it is. Here's the wide shot. It's a centerpiece, is what it is. So yeah, I mean, it's freaking amazing. What can I say? If you want me to do, I guess, an entire video on this piece, I can. Just let me know in the comments if that's something you want to see. There's been a few reviews that have done that, but what I would do is to show you each of these pieces. I'll show you the base before it opens up like that, and then I'll show you the armor with all the, I mean, he's got like, if you could see here, there's like missiles and stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of attachments you can put on the arms. It's just freaking loaded. This thing's crazy. Just wanted to give you a quick and dirty on this. There is the Hot Toys Mark IV Diecast with gantry, the Doctor Strange Mezco, the Bad Cube Swerve, and here's something new that I did with the Nerd Bar. I made this. I got this little acrylic stand also. I got this at Toy Department. Thank you, James, for that. But I was going to use this for some SH Figure Arts, but I felt that it kind of looked pretty cool here. We're just showcasing different pops. A lot of these pops are just commons, but it kind of showcases some of my likes with pop culture. I mean, there's my music likes, or some of them. There's Guns N' Roses, Lemmy from Motorhead. There's Alex Ovechkin. There's Washington Capitals. There's Kenny Omega, you know, wrestling. I'm into that. Deadpool, love the movie. And then there's Big Bang Theory, a television show that I love. And then there's Big Boy, food. So I think you got everything covered here for me. But I'll swap these out from time to time. So when you see me at the Nerd Bar, I guess maybe you'll see different pops here, just kind of showcasing the stuff that I like in popular culture. But there you go, guys. Bam. Alright, so I guess that's the end of the video. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for thumbs upping. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. I like it when you guys do that. I just passed 14,000 subs. I mentioned it in my last video. I passed it. It feels crazy, honestly, that many people out there subscribe to the channel. But I'm very, very humbled and appreciative and thankful. So thank you for doing that. And I don't know, I guess the next goal is 20,000. So if you have friends that are into collecting, if you think that they'd like this channel, please recommend it to them or post it or share it, whatever. I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios. And I'm going to watch some hockey, some baseball, some football, some wrestling this weekend. Some UFC, Conor McGregor fight. Good time to be a sports fan. Good time to be a comic book collector. Good time to be a toy collector. Just good time to be having a good time. So there you go, guys. Adios. See ya.